Hey everyone, it's Jordan Faith. Here on my channel, I share all sorts of wavy curly hairstyling techniques and experiments. If that's something you're interested in, please subscribe so you won't miss any of my videos. I upload a new one every single Thursday. Today, I am finally trying Cake the Curl Whip Mousse. I have seen so many people rave about this, so many of you have recommended this to me and begged me to try this, and I'm finally doing it. I'm so excited to take you through the process with me and share my first impressions. So let's head to my shower to get started. Here we are in my shower. I am just beginning by getting my hair completely soaking wet. And then I'm taking the Maui Moisture Hibiscus Water shampoo to give myself a really nice deep cleanse. This shampoo has the ingredient sodium C14-16 olefin sulfonate, which is a pretty strong surfactant, but not quite as strong as a sulfate. So it gives me a really nice deep clean without making my hair feel stripped. And I had actually gone probably 10 days, maybe a little longer, without washing my hair, and I don't like to do that. I do not like to go that long, but life just happened and it took this long, so I wanted to use a nice strong shampoo. I scrubbed my scalp really well with my fingertips, squeezed some suds through the ends, and then I'm taking my silicone scalp scrubber to give even more cleansing action to my scalp, because sometimes my scalp can get really irritated when I let my wash days go that far apart. So I just want to ensure that I'm set up for success here. So I'm going to rinse this out, and because I still felt like I needed a little bit more cleansing, I'm taking just a tiny bit more of the same shampoo and shampooing again. So I'm following the lather, rinse, repeat that's written on a lot of bottles. And I'm just, again, scrubbing my scalp very gently with my fingertips. And you can see that the shampoo lathers up a lot better this time. And that's very typical when your hair is really, really dirty. Usually the shampoo won't lather as much. But then when you rinse and go in with the shampoo again, there's not as much dirt and oil for the shampoo to clean off of you. So it's able to lather up more and it shows more suds. I'm just squeezing those suds through the lengths of my hair as well, and then rinsing it out thoroughly. Then I'm using the Garnier Fructis Plumping Treat 3-in-1 hair mask. I just now realized that this says 3-in-1 hair mask and not 1-minute mask, like the other ones say, so I've probably called this the wrong thing before. But anyway, I'm taking a pretty generous amount of this and I'm working it through my hair, and I had a lot more hair fall here because it had been so long since I'd washed my hair and I hadn't done any detangling since my last wash. So it took a little bit longer to work through because when my hair falls out, it tangles through the lengths a little bit, but I always finger detangle completely, and then I just go in with a brush when I remember to help evenly distribute that product. Now I'm clipping this up, and I'm just leaving it on for 5 minutes while I wash my body and do things like that, and then I'm rinsing it off. Then I'm taking a little bit more of the same conditioner because it is a 3-in-1. It can be used as a regular conditioner, a deep conditioner, or a leave-in. So I'm using a little bit more to use as a leave-in here. I could have just left some of the conditioner in my hair rather than rinsing it and putting some more in, but I prefer to do it this way because it gives me more control over how much leave-in is in my hair. And then throwing it up into a shower cap so I can move into the other room to show you the styling process better. I'm adding more water to my hair and brushing that through. This is helping to smooth down any stray hairs, start forming my curl clumps, and of course make sure that product is thoroughly and evenly distributed. I'm then running my fingers through the back of my hair to get all of that hair away from my scalp so it doesn't stick. And then I always add a little bit more water. I add water a lot throughout my routine because I find I get my best results, or the results I prefer, when my hair is very, very wet, so my clumps can be really nice and juicy. I'm doing a really quick squish to condish with that leave-in conditioner. And then I felt like I was getting a little bit of wet frizz, a little bit of excessive wet frizz, I should say. So I decided to go back in with my perfect hair care brush and really smooth out those clumps. Then I'm beginning to scrunch some more. And then I'm going to start turning my head side to side. If you have ever been here before, you know that these back areas just do not like me, and they always need extra attention if I want them to look as good or have a chance at looking as good as the rest of my hair. So I usually have to rake through them, add more water, sometimes brush through them, add more water, and scrunch. But that usually helps them slime back together, as you can see. I'm adding more water, like I said, throughout the process as often as I need to keep my clumps the size that I like them. And then I'm finally taking Cake the Curl Whip mousse and squeezing some into my hand. And a lot of people warned me that this mousse grew a lot, but I forgot that. So I just squeezed a normal amount, and of course it got huge. Then I'm just rubbing it between my hands, and this is so creamy. It's the creamiest product I've ever worked with. It's creamier than my creams. It's just so interesting how airy it is without having any like real air bubbles in it that you can pop to make it get smaller. It just doesn't get smaller. But I started scrunching this into my hair, and I was a little bit worried because a lot of people also warned me that you do not need a lot of this mousse. But you can see as I started scrunching it in, my hair is just drinking this, like completely soaking it all up. So I'm scrunching that all over, and I'm scrunching in the back, and I'm scrunching in the front, and I'm making sure to turn my head side to side so nothing sticks. And I just felt like my hair soaked that all up. So I made the crazy decision to use some more. Now don't yell at me. I know that I was warned, but I really felt like I needed some more. And also, I just happened to see Swavy Curly Courtney's video using this mousse a little while ago, and she felt like the mousse soaked into her hair as well, but she didn't add more. And then she said at the end that she felt like she didn't put enough. So I used my knowledge of my own hair, and I remembered that video, and I think my hair is really similar to Courtney's. So I made the executive decision to use more mousse. I'm just scrunching it in, and it really was just getting soaked into my hair. It was like I couldn't feel the product in there at all anymore. I scrunch as much as I need to until I feel like my product is completely distributed and my clumps are looking the way that I like. Then I scoop up my hair very gently and squeeze my fists really firmly to squeeze out a lot of extra water. And then I decided to add some more mousse. It was a little scary, but I was pretty sure it was going to work out. So I am adding another glob of mousse, scrunching it in, and pulsing. I always scrunch and pulse, making sure to turn my head side to side and get that product all over. And like I said, this mousse does not shrink, so I kept getting it on the sides of my hands, and I had to scoop it up and put it in the middle and rub it together so I could apply it. But I just continued to scrunch that in until I felt like my hair was styled the way that I like, and then I squeezed out as much more water as I could before moving on to microplopping with my perfect hair care towel. I really like this towel because it's super smooth and it absorbs so much water. So I don't have to do too many passes scrunching my hair. I just have to scrunch each section maybe once or twice, which can really help reduce frizz. Then I moved on to diffusing. All right, I diffused for just about 20 minutes and air dried the rest of the way. It only took probably 2 or 3 more hours to completely air dry. I do not have any cast. It's very soft. So that is part of why it dried so quickly, because there was no cast to seal in that extra moisture and make it take longer to dry. So there is no cast to scrunch out, but I'm still going to fluff my roots now before we see the results. I've just been wearing my Zazzy band to keep my hair up and out of my face while it was finishing drying. I put it on right after diffusing. And these are the results. I am so blown away by this mousse. I love my hair today. I think it turned out so pretty. It's got amazing curl definition. Not too much frizz, a little bit more than when I get a cast, but that makes sense. But definitely no excessive frizz and lots of shine. And I feel like it has really good volume too. I feel like this was just a win all the way around. Since this was my first time trying this mousse, I wanted to use it by itself to see how it really performs. But I'm really excited to experiment with this and layering, because this is probably the most curl enhancement I've gotten from a single product. Maybe tied with the Eco Slay Orange Marmalade, but I'm really not sure. I'm just so impressed with this mousse. Why didn't you all make me try this sooner? Just kidding. I know a lot of you have been telling me to try this mousse for months and months and months. And I just kept putting it off, and that was my bad. I definitely should have gotten this mousse months ago. I love this. I'm really excited to play around with it some more. If you use this mousse, tell me what your favorite combos are so I can maybe try them out. I forgot to mention, my hair feels super soft like I said, but it doesn't feel like it has anything in it. There is no grit like I sometimes get from mousses. It doesn't feel sticky or tacky. Like I said, it left no crunch at all. And overall, I really don't see any downsides to this. It might be on the slightly more expensive side for a mousse, but it's still less than $10, which is amazing. And it's pretty accessible. I really like the smell. It's a little bit lemony and sweet, and the texture is just incredible. I already mentioned that, but I just have to mention it again because that's one of the coolest things about this mousse. It's just so creamy. When you smooth it between your hands, it doesn't lose any air. I really can't think of the perfect comparison for texture to compare it to, but it's just so thick and creamy and foamy, but it doesn't lose any of those air bubbles like a regular mousse. It's just one of a kind. I grabbed the bottle from back there just because I want to read it because I think it's kind of funny. First of all, it's really pretty. I like this packaging a lot. I really like the way that they do the logo, where it looks like it's piped in frosting. I like that it has a little tip, like a star tip that you frost cupcakes with and stuff. But it is called Cake Naturally Luxe Beauty, the Curl Whip, Totally to Die For Whipped Curl Mousse. Big curl boosting, de-frizz defining, no sticky, no crunch, volume and hold. And it's not lying. Like I said, it's not the least frizz I've ever had, but it's definitely not excessive. I have great hold, I have good volume. It's not sticky, there was no crunch, and it definitely boosted my waves. Anyway, that's probably enough raving about this product. Like I said, this is just my first try, but I really don't see myself changing my mind. And of course, to remain transparent, I do not have any affiliation with this brand. This is not sponsored. I bought this with my own money. I just tried it out because so many of you told me it was amazing and I had to see for myself. And you were right. If you're still watching, thank you for bearing with me while I talk like this stuffy, nasally weirdness because I have a really bad cold right now. I appreciate you for bearing with me. If you liked this video, please click that thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can hit the thumbs down. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my future videos. Remember to love yourself fully and faithfully, and I'll see you next time.